Yo guys, this is Reinhardt, and I know I haven't made a video in a long time, and it's not because I'm actually hate you guys, or it's not because I hate the game, even though I found the Cataclysm PvP is a little bit boring, and probably not a little bit, but a whole lot of it. But it's not the reason why. Finals, guys, and we all know finals suck ass. You know, a lot of coffee, a lot of cramming, a lot of sitting and stuff, and wishing you could be doing, like owning the games and shit. But anyway, let's actually move into this video is about the actual changes for Mists of Pandaria in DKs, and I'm gonna be giving you guys a walkthrough. So as you guys know, our anti-magic zone got buffed quite a bit. It's not a 30k mitigation anymore, it's actually 64k. And I believe our Horn of Winter is actually gonna be increasing that. And actually, if I'll find that shit over here, there it is. Well, because it's Cataclysm, sort of say, okay, so 64k, no it's not, it's 64k still. Yeah, it actually goes off the strengths, I forgot, not the actual attack power. So anyway, the changes I want to talk to you about, the first one is, we no longer have a pet puking diseases, we actually have Plague Leech talent, which consumes the diseases and activates our randomly depleted rune as a death rune. The question is, does it require 2 diseases or just 1? Because if it requires just 1 disease, it's not bad. If it requires both, it's still halfway decent when your diseases are expired. But the thing about Unholy, we have a festering strike that still increases our duration, so I'm not sure how is it going to be played out pretty well. It's kind of a, people say it's a very high skill dependent ability. In my opinion, this ability is just complete yucky. I wish that Plague Leech would actually be just giving us a death rune without consuming a disease, because it's a huge pain in the ass. I mean, you consume 2 runes to give you 1 death rune, and depends on the timing and stuff. People will be just lazy, to be honest, to picking this talent, especially because Unholy Blood is so freaking awesome, and Rolling Blood is actually very interesting. The thing that about Rolling Blood, as you guys know, it actually triggers Pestilence whenever you're striking with a blood boil. And here we go. This is, I'm doing that shit, and you see it actually applied Pestilence to this stuff. And now I'm gonna Pestilence here and it applied disease over here. The thing about this is I like it because it's kind of like a blood tank friendly. The problem with this talent, however, it's kind of not good for Unholy or Frost, because for Frost they can use Death Rune to Howling Blast and still apply their main disease that is modified by their mastery, which is Frost Fever. And for Unholy, Blood runes usually work as a conversion to a Death runes. So why should we do that when we can just simply Pestilence actually? Let me see. When we can just simply apply diseases and Pestilence, and thus we can actually gonna get our promised death rune. So the thing, I'm gonna make a suggestion later on about the Mists of Pandaria DK feedbacks, and the stuff that I want to make is this talent, when you blood boil and it triggers Pestilence, the blood rune should actually be converted to a death rune. That is my suggestion, and I want you guys to actually leave your comments below. I mean, seriously, don't just listen to this video, list your comments below. Okay, so now that's for the first tier talent. Now look at the next tier talent. We have the Purgatory, which is a passive ability. Basically, when they kill you, they get you below like 1 HP or below, you cannot die for 3 seconds, and during that time, if you can heal yourself up, you won't die. It's sort of like a cheat death, but you don't die during that cheat death. But every time you take a lot of damage during those 3 seconds and a lot of healing, and if the damage is gonna be higher than healing, then no, you're gonna die. And if the healing will be greater than damage during those 3 seconds, then you're gonna survive. And this passive ability cannot occur more than once every 3 minutes. So what do I think about it? I think it's an awesome thing, but in my opinion, I don't think it can be a lifesaver, but in my opinion, Lichborn is so much more effective, especially because to get out the CCs, and on top of it, it actually can heal us for quite a bit. So in my opinion, I would still pick Lichborn over that for PvP. But where I think Purgatory really shines, it shines in PvE for blood decays, tanking. For tanking, it's amazing. For PvE, DK DPSing, it also is amazing. We do something retarded. Oh, guess what? We have Purgatory. Joking. But on the other hand, it's also very good in RBGs for blood decays and maybe even for other DPS decays. But in my opinion, still Lichborn is better for RBGs for a DPS decay. But I could definitely see how Purgatory can be very, very effective in, let's say, so to say, PvE in Battlegrounds. Let's see, a blood decay goes down to 0 HP. Hey, don't worry guys, I'm out of the smoke bomb finally, but I have this Purgatory debuff on me. Please give me a lay on hands. Yeah, sure buddy, no problem. Here's a lay on hands. Wow! And you're back to full. Especially for the Death Pact, whoever is gonna be picking that, the Purgatory is gonna work wonders with the Death Pact. So that's about it for that one. Now I want to talk about Death's Advance. They buffed it up to 100%, and I was one of those who gave them feedback saying it's too much. Can you imagine not being snared below 100%? 100% of the time? That shit is OP. Now, some people say, well, Vladimir, Reinhardt, why don't you just want to do it and be awesome and owning? Well, here's the problem. If we're gonna have 100% uptime on the target, then our damage has to be sucked donkey dick. So therefore, I would rather actually have a 70% uptime on the target but do 25% more damage to the target than actually be hitting like a wet noodle but have a awesome uptime. That is my partake. But here's what awesome thing they did with the Death Advance. Take a look at here guys. Let's see, where the heck is the Death Advance? It actually gives you skill, believe it or not. Death Advance, Death Advance, Death Advance. As soon as I find that skill, I'm actually gonna let you know guys. And I cannot find that skill even if you're gonna kill me. Hold on a second. Because I didn't pick. There it is. So it's actually giving us skill, and when you activate it for 6 seconds, you cannot be snared below 100% of the time, and you move 30% if you're not snared. So it's like mini sprint, plus you cannot be slowed. It's sort of like a freedom. I think it's undispellable also, and there it is. So it actually requires extra keybind, and you get nice animation out here. It's a nice skill. It definitely increases our skill cap for quite a bit. I think they did it perfectly. To be honest, I'm glad. I just hope they're not gonna fuck it up later on. So the next one is Life Conversion. It had some some changes. You cannot melee strike runic power corruption, gain runic power. It's mostly for Frost, because Frost right now does have a lot more healing because they do generate more runic power from their melee strikes. I just don't understand, like, who is the genius in their department said, yeah, sounds fair. Let's have a Frost decay, do a melee strike, and generate 30 runic power per melee strike. Like, the fuck is that shit? Like, honestly. In the Frost presence, you're sitting there and you're generating 30 runic power. It's more than I generate by hitting with a Scorch Strike or some shit. Like, I just don't understand. Like, why would they do that? It's stupid. I'm not saying it because I hate Frost. I just think that the Frost is gonna have more healing. But also, it actually encourages more spamming for Frost decays. And we all know, the abilities that are spawnable usually not the most effective abilities in the game. So guess what? Maybe Frost Decays will have a huge burst actually nerfed. And this is where the Frost Decays actually true shine, is a burst. Because they get so much runic power. So I think there's something has to be done. Maybe a good way to do it is actually buff up Frost Strike damage a little bit. But come on. Like, don't do 30 runic power regeneration per melee strike. Last thing I want to talk about is actually Death Siphon. Death Siphon is amazing, absolutely amazing. And let me actually clear it up. They nerfed the damage they buffed the damage to ridiculous levels, then they nerfed it down by 30%, and then they buffed it again. So to say, because whoa, wait a sec, really? Alright, well, I guess I need to get time. So, but anyway, that Siphon is basically, they nerfed the damage for a little bit, but they did buff the healing. It heals for 100% of the damage done. It's a Shadow Frost affected by both masters. Hits for 9 to 10k in PvP, which is pretty awesome in my opinion. So, I want to see what's better, Conversion or a Death Siphon. For me, it's a mystery. Everybody says Conversion is better, but I still have my hopes. Blood Tap used to be you generate 1 charge per Death Coil or Frost Strike or Rune Strike, and you can consume 3 charges to activate randomly depleted rune into a Death Rune. Now it generates 2 charges and it consumes 5. So it consumes 5 but requires 3 Death Coils. So, and it leaves 1 extra. So it got actually increased by 20%. So where your Death Coil generates 1 charge and requires 3, it now generates 2 charges but requires 5. So you see where's the difference. It's sort of like your Death Coil generates 1 but it requires 2.5. So they buffed it up by 20%. I'm not 100% sure how effective it is. Runic Corruption did get buffed quite a bit also. It increases the rune regeneration by 2.5 seconds, not 2 seconds. But when I activate my Unholy Presence, for some reason it actually reduces down to 232. But when I pop my Frost Presence, it again backs it up to 2.55. I'm not sure what the actual deal here quite a bit. So I'm gonna let the Theory Craft decide here. I know that the Runic Corruption gets more powerful the more haste you have, but something is not 100% quite right here. So we'll see about that. The last thing I want to talk to you guys is the actual PvP gear. And as you guys can see, I got a little bit more hit chance, I got a whole lot more crit chance, and I got more mastery. Why? Because everything has a dual stats. I believe I get up to 35% mastery by not even reforging it, reforging everything to haste, but leaving mastery as it is on my stats. I believe mastery is going to be second best for Unholy Decays. Maybe crit, it depends on how hard our pet is going to be hitting. But here we go, we actually get a dual stats. As you guys can see, the helmet gives you mastery, expertise, and then it gives you PvP power and PvP resilience. PvP power and resilience are very effective in PvP, and I really hope we're not gonna require PvE gear in order to be very effective. On the other hand, we'll see. The pop-up trinkets also got the base strengths in them, but the thing that actually sucks quite a bit is that these trinkets give you secondary stats. Like this one gives you mastery, but this one gives me strength, so it can actually further emphasize the strengths of the human Rachel in PvP, and I really hope that would not be the case. I hope the other races are gonna be just as viable. My favorite is actually Green Orcish. I like orcs, and I like humans. Actually, those two are my favorites. I was a human decay back in Wrath of Lich King before. It was very top notch OP, but it was actually quite good as every other Rachels. Actually, I was human Rachel back when the Will of the Forsaken was actually ridiculously overpowered and stuff. So with that said, these are the changes that have a Mists of Pandaria for Decays. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna be making a whole lot more videos next week because I'm finally gonna get down with the school. Officially, next Tuesday will be my last day, but I just have to show up, so to say. So guys, thanks for watching this video. I'll talk to you guys later. До свидания.